We got Yoko Gold joining me here for Sports Hip Hop with DJ Mad Max, Live 365, iHeartRadio. One of the best up and coming artists in the game, in my opinion, especially if you just
Thank
heard the
you.
new song Obsolete. It blew me away. But man, welcome to the show, man. You got a lot on the way here. I know you got a new track coming out this Friday. Welcome to the show, man. How's everything going? How's this year feeling?
Oh man, this year has been a roller coaster ride, but man, it's been feeling amazing.
Yeah, I feel like you're ready and locked in finally because I know it's been some time now. You've been releasing some music. I know you've been working with Tory on some things, but now I'm seeing a lot of the singles and a lot of solo stuff that you're doing right now, and you're ready.
Man, thank you. Honestly, it's been a journey. It's been a process, just to get to where I'm at right now. But I'm really happy. I got a great team, and we've really been pushing forward to, give the people something magical.
Yeah, no, I absolutely. We got to get into this track because there's a lot of topics going on in society about relationships, and
Hmm.
it reminded me a lot of Eminem and Dr. Dre with "Guilty Conscience" because you shoot the guy that's in the bed there. A little bit of a Kim and Stan action there with burying the girl alive. But what was kind of the story behind this record? Because it's deep and the visuals like a horror movie.
Man, no, I'm gonna get to that, but I'm laughing because I actually me and my creative director Paul Short, we were actually just looking at that video actually. So it's funny. Um Obsolete, honestly, my collaborator Luca 905, we he's the guy who I do all these songs with. We were honestly just like at a place in our lives, I think it was before COVID, where we were just writing records. And I remember one day uh his friend Ben just walked in and was playing this guitar line, and I swear like the words just poured out of me. I feel like a lot of times in our society, relationships kind of play a very double-edged role. A lot of times it's a lot of people basically, wanting to be in a relationship but not really understanding the depths of what it takes to actually stick in that relationship. And I wanted to explain that with Obsolete.
Oh, you did. I could tell just by the record. It's a deep record, and you're right. You're absolutely right about the message with the record. And a lot of people are getting into relationships just to say that they're in one, and that's
Yeah.
why you have the problems going on. And it's crazy when you go on Twitter, you always see something domestic going on. It's unbelievable. Like I said, amazing record. Now, what's going to be the theme? Because I feel as though I mean, we're going to address the nothing but like your lips. You got the upcoming record, but what's going to be the theme? Because are you looking to be working on a specific album in the near future, an EP with something that you're kind of gearing up for?
Yeah, honestly, we have an incredible project and just body of work on the way. And what I wanted to do was tell the story. Far too much times I feel like artists, especially in this day, we forget to give the people this story. We just want to like put our music out there and tell them listen to it. But every song that I've been releasing from now, is a part of a more grander project that, we'll be surfacing real soon.
Mm. No, I'm looking forward to it. It's going to be big. And are you looking, because I know with everything, we'll get into some of it, but I know with everything, because working with Tory and everything he's going on throughout his career and him going independent, are you looking to get a major deal for yourself, or do you want to stay independent yourself?
I believe in partnerships, but I do believe that we're in a time where as artists, we got to believe in ourselves, and we got to be willing to say, you know what, let's do the work before we go meet the guys in suits. You know what I mean? Let's do the work. And like the future is synergy. So I'm definitely looking to partner if the business is right, and just go from there.
Mm. Let's take it back to the beginning before we get into Limbo and Mirage, all these other records that you have, and then the upcoming one on Friday. I want to take it to the beginning because music has always been in your family. Of course,
Mhm.
Tori being your brother, but who are some other the family members that have music backgrounds that we don't know about that you could share here with us?
Yeah, well, I'll start with my parents. They're the reason why we do this. I was born to missionary parents, and when we didn't have a church to go to on Sunday, we would just have church right in our living room. And our mom and my dad, they would just hum these songs that they wrote for us to go to. So they're the real superstars before anything. But then my whole family, I have six brothers and sisters, and they're all just musically gifted. I got my brothers, Hollywood Sos, who just came on the prison tapes with Tori. I have my brother Wolfgang, who's about to drop an amazing project. And then I have my sister Destiny also, who sings. So like it just runs through the blood.
I could tell a big musical family. Everyone's involved in music. When did you
Yeah.
really start to take it to the point where we're getting these records? Was it with Life when you were collaborate with Tory? Because I heard about you being in Atlanta with him at that time, and he wanted you to put something down on that record. But was it before then, or was it that moment that you started working with him where you started to put everything you wanted to do to the test?
Honestly, I was always that guy who was in the background, just watching Tory do what he did, and I was privileged to watch, somebody from nothing go to something. And I believe like for me, it was more like I was honing in on what I wanted to deliver to the world. I know like the industry likes to say, you got to do it now because you're nah, I wanted to do it when it was right and when I had something to say that I think people needed to hear.
I think so. I think it's long overdue just hearing these records, especially the
Thank
visuals
you.
that you've been dropping. It's been long overdue because people say that they can't believe that you're Tori's older brother. They're like, how is this possible? Because you're so good.
Yeah, it's always gonna be that that big brother little brother rivalry. But to be honest with you, a lot of my work ethic just comes from watching him, man. That man is crazy in the studio. He just doesn't stop. And for me, I think where it really set foot, I was like, man, I remember with the Life record, Tori's like, yo, I need you to jump on this hook. And for me, it's like I'm really like an introvert, so I'm really inclusive. So when he told me to do that, I was like, oh, you know what? It's little bro, so let me go on it. And when I went on it, it kind of just opened the light, just the people that, got back to me and said, that record really touched me. So yeah,
No, and that was a big album with everything that was going on at that time. And I'm going to be saying this: free Tory Lanez.
yeah,
You
yeah, free
guys are
Tori
my
for
prayers.
sure.
Just everything that's going on. I think it's a lot of nonsense. I did see something today about his studio equipment being taken away, which is unbelievable. I mean, he should be able to do what he wants to do, making music. Because I know he was still going on. Like you said, you mentioned the prison tapes. I know he was having a lot of success with that, and it's just another setback. And it's really unfortunate. Like I said, you guys are my prayers. Free Tory Lanez, and
Thank you.
the biggest thing I could take out of that is that you guys never gave up. You're still going on with the music, and he's still doing what he can to put out that music.
No, absolutely. I mean, look, the truth is, no matter what we're going through, no matter what Tori's going through, there's people out there in the world right now that are just going through so much worse. And I feel like, as musicians, we're like therapists, so it's really our job to make sure that these people can get their therapy. We've been given the gift to have an outlet to freely, express ourselves. And there's so much people in this world with that gift as well that just need, you know, us as entertainers to give them inspiration. So I think that's definitely the spirit that runs through Tori, and that's definitely the spirit that runs with me.
Mm. You mentioned that you were always in the background working with him. Now, were you with him along the journey? Because you're right, he really had a hard working journey, and it took a lot to get to the place that he was at and just where he's at now, of course. But so, you were with him when he was going to Miami and moving all around into the states as well?
Yeah, 100%.
Mhm.
I've seen his career from, when we were in the basement with the micro with, a little microphone back then and him just putting out his first tape. I've seen his whole run from that beginning to the end. I mean, well, the end as we know it in the beginning as it is to come.
No, it's definitely an empire for sure. I mean, the versatility, the Alone at Prom, because you got to work with him on that, hurts me. Huge record.
Oh man.
Yeah, Sex Anonymous. I did see that one. You've been
Yeah.
working with that. So, when did that idea come for you guys to put together Alone at Prom? Because it's something different that we don't get in this day and age, an '80s album, and it sounds something like a new edition Michael Jackson in this era, which is crazy.
Yeah, that's wild. To me, it's like again, I got to go back to my parents. I got to go back to my dad, Sunstar, my mom, Llewellyn Peterson, just pumping that Earth, Wind, and Fire, and then Michael Jackson, and then Billy Joel. Like, I think for us, it's like if you're not giving something that's timeless, it's here for today and it's gone tomorrow. In respect to all the music that's coming out. And I think Alone from Prom, I can't really speak for him on where his inspiration truly came from, but I can say, I was privy to be in the building while he was creating that. And I think he really just has an ability of tapping into something and really just doing it very well. And that's kind of how that came up, came about.
No, you definitely see the creativity, and it's gonna provide a lot of inspiration for artists to just dip outside the box, and that's what you're doing, especially with this obsolete record, Limbo. Limbo
Thank
was another interesting one. Do you feel as though that you're still in limbo, or we're kind of always gonna be in limbo because that's what we go through in life? You're in and out.
Yeah, man, because limbo is not about how rich you are, how poor you are. It's about where is your mind state, and I feel like I've escaped it. You feel me? I feel like I've escaped it because escaping limbo is kind of just taking control of yourself and saying, you know what, whatever the scary thing is that, we're all scared of, I'm gonna do it, and that's the whole idea behind limbo for me.
Mhm. And your name with Yoko Gold, because I know it's positivity, creativity, longevity. That's what you stand for. What do you think it is the key to have longevity in this game? Because we look at artists such as Rich Homie Quan, rest in peace. This guy was a hit maker, and his music still
Definitely.
stood the test of time. And he was still putting out that consistent music. But it's like the people just kind of moved on. He still had his fans, but it's almost like artists are trends. Even if you're great in this era, it's
Mhm.
almost sometimes you become a trend. So what do you think it's going to take to stay to keep the longevity now in this era?
It's a series of things, but I'll break it down into three. I think like the first thing is, I'm very spiritual, so I have a relationship with the Most High, and I think you need that for grounding. Second, hard work, you know, and just making sure that you know that whatever gift or whatever blessing has been handed to you, that you still got to work just as hard as the janitor that's working in school, just as hard as the doctor that's trying to, save lives, and just as hard as the teacher that's teaching a bunch of, kids on their cell phones. You got to work hard. And third, it's just a belief in self. And I think a belief in self comes from the last two that I mentioned. You really got to have an undoubted belief that no matter what it is, you're going where you're going. Even this interview for me, honestly, this is like my first interview, and I'm really, proud to have it with you.
Wow, I
But
appreciate that.
but my humility to be here, I feel like I'm on CNN right now. So that's what it is.
No, that means a lot. And shout out to you and congratulations just on this being your first interview. I had no idea because I've read some other stuff online, but I think this is your first. Is this your first like talking interview?
Yeah, this is my first talking interview, and
Wow, that's in the
shout out,
we're putting that in the history books right now. This is history.
absolutely, man. I want to shout out Wiener House and Ariana over there, and my management crew. They put it together, so I'm
Yeah,
happy.
shout out to Ariana. Shout out to all of them, man. You got a great management team. I know you're excited about what you have in the future, and you're very talented, man. Like I said, when I listen to these records, because you got Mirage out, and you really have because with music today, I always say that there's not enough thinkers in the world and not enough
Mhm.
poets. Well, your music is deep with Mirage because you speak about life being a movie script, and you're just surrounded by social cues. I think we have the clues to what our life is and just what situations are, but we kind of just live subconsciously.
Absolutely, man. And the thing for me is I feel like when I wrote that record, life is a mirage, two kids, two door garage, new chick, new foreign car. Um, it's just explaining, like, in a sense, like, yeah, don't matter, don't worry, just be happy because this whole thing is gonna end eventually, and it's really about who people know you to be. You know what I mean? When in the end, it's about like when you met somebody, did you make that person better than when you met them, when you left them? So that's really what it is when I write. I want to write introspective, but I also want to make people dance. So
Yeah.
look forward to dancing.
And I know you already do, and but the records with these that we're getting so far, you can because you could dance to Obsolete because you got the rap part of it, and it's something you could dance to, but it's a deep record, like I said, as far as relationships go. I know it's dark themed, but when I listened to it, I was just blown away by it.
I'll say another thing about Obsolete. To be honest with you, like that's inspired by like just looking at the greatest himself, looking at Michael Jackson and
Michael
seeing
Jackson.
Thriller and seeing like, okay, like nobody's like really doing this Thriller stuff. You know what I'm saying? And then it's just so funny how the universe works because, you know, I just saw Sabrina Carpenter's video and I was like, oh wow, this shit is crazy. But it's like similar themes, so it's like ideas are always flying. It's about catching them.
No, it's important. It's important that you're following your gut instinct and what your heart feels like, because I know you want to make people happy and give them hope and spark inspiration and just the longevity, like you said, for other people. And we need people that are out there that are risk takers. I do mention this a lot on my shows that artists don't take risks anymore, and you do. Tory does. There's a couple others, but everyone just wants to follow one trend that the music industry is hooked on. And I just don't think you're going to stay around that long by doing that. You got to go outside the box and look towards the greats.
Absolutely, man. I think a lot of artists just have to have a respect for the past, in any way. And I really just believe that there is a lot of artists these days that I think are understanding that, especially young artists. There's a lot of amazing young artists that are really coming out and saying, forget the system. Like, let's just do what we want, because it's only when we do what we want that the people feel who we are.
Mm. No, that's real. Absolutely. As far as your influences, who are your influences in music? I know your family, of course, your parents, but as far as the goats, who are the ones that you look to?
Well, this first one's gonna be funny. I don't think I've ever said this, but I have to start saying this. It only would be right. But my first fond memory of loving music was hearing Christina Aguilera at Genie in a Bottle.
Oh yeah, the early Christina, yeah.
Yeah, I would just wait by the radio every time the show changed, like in rotation. I would just wait for it to come back on, and I think that was my first, come on over and all those songs by her. And then it got a little bit more serious, when I was playing Tony Hawk and I discovered "The World Is Yours" by Nas, and like I just had to go home and understand who is this guy, and from down there, of course, Michael Jackson, Joe Scott, and there's a huge list of people, Frank Sinatra. But there's a huge list of people who inspired me. But those are my top inspiration, I think.
Man, Frank Sinatra. No, you're well rounded as far as inspiration. Because a lot of people they usually just
Definitely.
stick to the R&B and the hip hop genre, but you like artists outside. You mentioned Billy Joel before, so you're well rounded and schooled 100% on just the music in general.
Yeah, man. I like to think that I know a little bit.
Yeah, Tony Hawk. That brings it. That was a pro skater. Was that the one?
Pro skater, yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. I sucked at it though. But at
I
least it
think I
found
had
Nas
Pro
for me.
Skater 4 for GameCube back in the day.
Yeah, yo, GameCube. I haven't thought about that in like so long. That's
Yeah,
crazy.
GameCube was underrated. No one brings it up anymore.
Yeah, I think it's because of how it was shaped.
Yeah, because it was a cube. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, and you had to plug in the remote. So now,
Yeah,
like
with
with
the
the
remote.
Xbox, PlayStation, it's all wireless now.
Yeah. Yeah, man. That's another conversation.
Yeah. But are you in Toronto right now? Are you still in Canada? Or are you in the States?
Right now I'm currently in Toronto. We're working on some big things and some big announcements. I'll just let one of them know go right now. I'm seeking to have a show real soon, my first ever Yoko Gold show.
Wow.
So I'm really happy for that, and yeah, I'm just here right now, just working on.
And what's the current scene right now in Toronto as far as what you see going on out there? I know, Tory where he's at right now, it's a big loss, but we still feel his presence, of course. But you got Drake out there. I know he's having a tough year. But what's the current scene? How's it feeling out there in Toronto as far as the music scene goes?
Um, my thing about Toronto is, you know, if you live here, then you'll understand here. It's not like one of those places like New York. Like I feel like you don't really need to be from New York to understand like the greatness of New York. But I believe that this is a city that's resilient. It comes up, it goes down. And I think the music scene is very healthy, and I think it's starting to change. I think it's about to transition into something really beautiful. There's a lot of great artists that have been just doing their thing, and I'm really happy where the city is.
Yeah, especially with the Juno Awards and all that too. That's another avenue because I know people go for the Grammys out here, but you got your own award shows out there.
In Toronto,
Yeah, in
yeah,
Canada.
definitely. In Canada, yeah, definitely. We got the Junos, which is such a respected platform. A lot of greats have came through there, and Canadian legacy or whatever. And we have just we have a community. I know a lot of people like to say it's the screw face capital, but this is like a place. This is the type of city where you go to find yourself. Like nobody's gonna judge you. You can wear, you can come with you come to a party with tinfoil on your head and a trench coat, and people will just like laugh, but then they'll be drinking with you, talking about what the world's issues. That's the city I come from. It's an amazing city, and really proud of it.
Wow. No, it definitely is a special place. There's a lot of opportunities out there, but just by seeing what you've been able to do in the videos, have you thought about getting into acting? Because that's where a lot of even US films are filmed. They take advantage out in Colombia, in Canada, of course. But have you thought about getting into acting?
Oh man, 100%. But I think for me, what I love is just writing. And
Mm,
I'm gonna take this time. Like, there's my friend Paul Short. Me and him, like, we have endeavors to like soon in the future, unveil this very beautiful sitcom that we want to put out. So I have if I'm acting in that, great. I can Denzel it for a little bit. I would love to, but I think my passion as far as film is concerned is behind the veil, just writing and stuff.
mm. Have you thought about doing anything with NFTs? 'Cause I know your brother had success with that. He was the first star. Was it to go platinum in 57 seconds? So have you thought about doing the NFTs?
Yeah, as far as NFTs, like I haven't really thought too deep into NFTs, but I have, I am looking at the future of music. I am seeing, virtual concerts and all these things being a real thing in the future. And I don't rule anything out. I think right now I'm really early in my career and we're just kind of being basic with our business practices, but I do feel like, eventually with the right, knowledge and stuff like that, I can see myself going into the spaces of crypto and all that as far as my music is concerned.
Thinking ahead. No, I like that. And as far as you, because you're putting out your own work right now, are you more focused on just keep putting out solo work, or is there collaborations down the line that you may have in the vault that you can mention or that you want to work with? Is it more of you just wanting to just get yourself out there before you start hitting the collaborations?
Yeah, right now, like I said, like my audience, they're not my fans. I feel like they're my family, and
Mm.
I feel like, as a family member, I think it's very important that they know who I am. We come to a place where we establish some type of rapport, and then, if it should come and it makes sense. I do look forward to collaborating with a lot of different artists around the world.
Yeah. Is there any in particular you could think of at the moment that would be that dream for you right now?
um, I laugh because I always hear these kind of questions on interviews. Um, to be honest with you, I make no secret, man. I've always been a fan of Rema out there in Nigeria. I think his flow, I think his ability, I think his approach to the game is unique, especially in Afrobeats right now. So I'm really looking forward to one day doing something with him. Um, Christina Aguilera, I have to pull her. Hopefully, I get big enough to pull her out of retirement. We got to do something for sure. Like,
Yeah. Bring it back to the old, like you said, because you like the old Christina Aguilera. You got to bring her back to those early days.
yeah, definitely,
Yeah.
definitely.
And
Hopefully, not with Eminem, but yeah, other than
yeah,
that,
yeah.
if
Her and Eminem were beefing, and then I think she played Fred Durst on stage too.
yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
she's a bad one.
She was getting into it with a lot of people back in the day, and
A
that's
100%.
yeah. No, but she's definitely a heavy musical influence for a lot of R&B artists. It's you're not the first artist that's been on my show that's referenced her as a top influence for R&B for
And
sure.
yeah, she's definitely a goat for
Yeah,
sure.
no, yeah, there's no doubt about it. But there's something with your music too, because when we look at Limbo and Mirage, that you say that what we do in the present life affects us into the afterlife. And I know you're spiritual just from going to church and your beliefs and stuff. But is there any signs that have made you realize that there actually is an afterlife, like the actual signs?
I think the best sign is really just like when you go to a funeral home. You know, it's like when you go to I just went to a family member's funeral, and it just
Oh, my
reminds you.
condolences.
Thank you, thank you. It just reminds you that this life it's not here forever.
Mm,
And I think that anything that has a time limit on it really has a purpose attached to it. And that's kind of what the message is for Yoko Gold, is trying to figure out a way to bring positivity, creativity, and longevity. I really believe that equals peace, and I want people to understand that they don't have to be anything but who they are in this life, because nobody cares. You go to a funeral, you got your family there, but who else is really there, like, most of the times, right? So I really just think that, you know, understanding that this thing doesn't last forever brings you closer spiritually.
mm. No, it's deep. No doubt about it. You're right. There's definitely something after here. You see the signs just when people are going through it in hospice care. I've had family members go through in hospice, and you can
Hmm.
kind of see that they're going through something and that they see things, and it makes you question things about life, and especially like what else is beyond.
Absolutely. I like to look at life like this, man. Like, I didn't choose who I was born with, who I was born to. I don't choose who I get to love. I don't really you don't really get to choose the major things, but you get to choose everything else, right? So
Yeah.
I look at life like that. It's just like I'm here for a reason, just like everybody else is, and It's not necessarily about discovering yourself; it's about creating yourself. To me, in my opinion.
No, I agree. Yeah, because a lot of experiences that you go through, it does create yourself, but you always have to choose those outcomes at the end of the day. You're molding yourself
Absolutely,
as much as the outside world is molding you.
absolutely. Well said.
Yeah, absolutely. As far as visuals go, are there certain directors that you want to work with? Of course, Director X. Is there some? I even would like to see you do something with some actual film directors, like a Sam Raimi or something. I'd love to see you do that for some of your videos, just based on because your visuals are like movies.
Oh man, thank you, man. Like really, honestly, the only people I want to work with right now is really my team. And I really just gotta shout them out. I got my producer Sang, Grant Cooper on DP and none other than Paul Short, my director, creative director, one of my best friends ever. I think he is just truly a genius. And I'm sure he has like honestly, like we want to work with Tarantino if we're working with
Yeah.
anybody. I'm just gonna
Pulp
go right up
Fiction.
there. Yeah.
Classic. No, always shoot for the stars.
Definitely. And then you can land on the moon if you.
Yeah,
So
exactly. Quentin Tarantino, Yoko Gold. I can see it now.
definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah. So let's get into this upcoming record. You got one releasing this week, this Friday.
Yes, yes, man. Nothing like your lips. I wrote this for a special girl in my life. I remember I was doing a tour with Tory at the time. And, I had to go on the road and she was like, oh, those girls out there, I don't want to let you, whatever. And I felt like when I came back, I felt like just being around the world and seeing no matter what girl I saw, and I saw beautiful women, especially in Belgium. But being around the world and seeing all these women, none of them kind of even remotely gave me the feeling that the person I was with at the time did. And when I wrote Nothing Like Your Lips, I was just letting her know like there's nothing like your lips. Yeah, I've been around the world, but there's nothing like you. So
Mm. No, I like that. And I did see that on Instagram too about you talking about marriage and wanting to get married and stuff. I mean, how do you feel about the current state that we're in right now as far as relationships go? I mean, is that even possible still? I feel like it's rare.
yeah, I mean, diving back to the obsolete, especially the beehive, that's what that was all about. When we wrote this, this whole project that I'm about to come out with eventually was inspired by a book called The Brave New World. And if you don't know that book and you read books, just go check that out. But in the book, it was just describing, a future utopia where there was no marriage. All there was, hookups, a society kind of like that. And obsolete was kind of like modern society. And I feel like, if we don't stop and feel and really realize like there's some real issues that we have just as men and women, if we don't stop and see those issues, I do fear that marriage, will be obsolete and will be a thing of the past. I think we're at a place now where we have to really stop and stop playing the blaming game. You have the Andrew Tates, and then you have the feminists over here. We got to stop playing the blaming game. Just kind of get to a place where it's like, all right, we all need each other to survive, both men and women. What can we do to keep it going? Because I think marriage is a lovely thing. I come from two parents who showed me, and I was lucky to have the example of just what marriage is, and what real love is.
That's strong. Yeah, no, I heard the story about your parents, and and that's inspiring. We don't get that a lot, and we need artists like you to uplift and bring people together. Because a lot of it is just you see what's going on, OnlyFans, Tinder. You see all the stuff that's going on social media and Instagram
Yeah.
and stuff. They're not promoting happiness and loyalty. It's all about I'll say what it is. It's body count culture now. It's
Yeah.
I can rack up the tally charts, and it's just
Hmm.
I just don't understand why it's like that. And, I think social media makes it worse. And as sad as it is, a lot of people, they need ego boosts. And it's just, I don't get it.
Yeah, man. I like to think the world is just like, I think attention is, we live in a world where it's like, yo, if you don't have this, then you don't have attention. If you don't have this, then I'm not going to follow you. Like, I'm the type of person who is like, yo, whenever somebody DMs me, like, I had some people really say, like, yo, this record really touched me. This Limbo record, this Mirage record, like, really spoke to me. And we just sit there and have chats for days. You know what I mean? I think we live in a world where it's like it's trying to tell us like no matter how who you are, if you don't have this, then no one cares about you. And I think it's just a cry for attention from men and women. And I think that the best way to get back to the basics is just sitting back and talking about the real issues, not the fact of who's performing at the Super Bowl, just the real issues.
No, and that's what we need, because people are avoiding it right now, and that's why they go in other directions. A lot of people's feelings get hurt. There's the conversation. It's the people that don't want to conversate and face the situation. They'd rather just go elsewhere and like cowards in a way, because they're afraid to stand against the truth. and they're afraid that a lot of people don't like the truth.
A lot of people don't like the truth. And, I've been there. That person you're talking about, I've been there, and I've been at a place where it's like, I could have done better. But these days, like what I'm learning more than ever is like, it starts with me, like Mike said, I'm the man in the mirrors. Let's start there and, let's continue.
Yeah. That's how we give forward. But you mentioned the project. When you, because I feel as though you're giving us, you're teasing us because you're dropping the singles and they're all quality, and that's what I love about it. As far as the project goes, when are you kind of looking on planning to release this? Is this something for next year? I mean, we still got about 2.5 months here with how quick this year is going by, but we got
Yeah.
about 3 months left here.
Yeah, man. I just want to let everybody know that, heard of me or that's just discovering me right now. I have something really soon. I can't put a date on it right now, but I have something really soon that you should definitely, be expected in the time to come.
Wow. Oh, that's big. I'm going to be looking forward to this, man, because like
Thank
I
you.
said, everything that I've seen has blown me away this far. I know the fans are really loyal and dedicated. I've seen all of them, just the traction that's been going on social media and just all the comments online and people calling you underrated. And it's true, but I take underrated as a compliment because you're ready, man. I believe that you're ready to really hit the charts here.
Yeah, it's funny, when I've seen whatever artist tells you they don't look at comments is lying. But I think like whenever I see underrated, I'm like, dang, like 3 songs in, you guys are telling me I'm underrated. I got a lot of work to do. I got a lot of work to do. But the fact that they're saying that off 3 songs, great. You know what I'm
I'm,
saying?
I mean, but as far as the releases go, what do you feel is the work that you need to do? Because I feel as all you just need to do is just release the song. That's pretty much it. I mean, touring, of course, but I feel as though the gift is there. You just have to release.
Yeah, definitely. To be honest with you, I almost feel successful already. And that's what
Mm.
the escape from limbo is. It wasn't really necessarily the attainment. Yeah, we need money to pay our bills, but it's it's the fact that I'm doing what I want to do and it's making other people do what they want to do. So I already kind of feel success. I feel like whatever I got to do, you know, in this game you have a little bit of faith, a little bit of hard work and a little bit of luck. And I feel like as long as I'm doing what I'm supposed to do, I'm already successful. And with that being said, it kind of brings me closer to wherever I feel my purpose is leading me to.
Mm. No, and that's big. That you, like you said, you have an impact on a lot of people's lives out here, and it's only going to continue. It really is.
Thank you, man. Thank you.
Yeah. So as far as, are you thinking of a title for the project yet, or you want to keep that under wraps until we get closer to them?
Definitely, man. Like all I would say is you already seen the title if you follow me,
Yeah,
but I want to keep that, under wraps, because I want to present it to people because it's special,
it's special.
I even want the presentation to be a story for anybody because I really like I don't know who these people are that listen to my music, but we speak and they really go out their way to let me know they appreciate them. So I like everything to be a movie from how we unravel it to how it comes out.
Yeah, and that movie's going to be a Quentin Tarantino one very soon.
Yeah, I like that. I like that, man.
Yeah.
Keep manifesting that. Uh,
uh,
definitely get you a part if you act.
oh yeah. Oh, I appreciate that. Yeah, no, whatever I could do to help out, man. You got my support and just everything that you got going on. And
Appreciate it.
I do want to get into sports, but are you Raptors fan?
I definitely am a Raptors fan.
Yeah. How do you feel about the team this coming season?
Oh man. To be honest with you, I do not follow basketball like that, but I'm a
Okay.
rap. You know what? I'm a Raptors fan when we're winning.
When you're
like,
winning, yeah. Well, you
but
won a few years
but
ago. Shout out to Kawhi.
definitely what I can talk about, what I can talk about as far as the Raptors are concerned is like it's like our city goes through cycles. When the Raptors are up, all of our artists are up. Then when they're a little bit down, our artists are coming a little bit down. But I feel like they got a good leadership on their team and they just have a magnificent brand
Yeah.
altogether.
No, they do. I like their uniform, especially the throwback ones with the dinosaur, of course, the Raptor, the Vince Carter. That's what I'm actually wearing right now. So I always like that jersey. It's one of my favorites. And how about for baseball? You follow the Blue Jays?
That's classic. Again, like I don't follow the Blue Jays, but anything Toronto, I'm a fan of.
You're
So
with.
you better believe if we making it to the World Series, Yeah, we're all putting on that Blue Jays jersey.
jersey. How about
Yeah.
football? Do you follow? I know you don't have the league out. You don't have a team out there, but do you follow football, the NFL at all?
With the NFL, I'm be honest with you, like again, I watch it on the Super Bowl.
Okay,
You
yeah,
know,
yeah.
but here's the thing. My mom was always a Green Bay Packers fan. So if Green Bay's playing anybody, I'm a Green Bay fan, you know?
Go with Green Bay. Yeah,
Yeah,
Jordan
yeah.
Love.
Who do you like? What's your teams in
I
football?
like I like the Jets. That's my.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, I'm a Jets fan. I do because what's crazy with Aaron Rodgers, because I know he's playing, and I hope he's still
Mhm.
playing, because last year this is the year anniversary when I think it's actually 2 days, but he played last year in the first game, tore his Achilles within the first 4 plays. So when I was done doing the broadcast and I turned on the game, it was him getting carted off the field. So I hope it's not like that once I get off of the broadcast with you, that he's injured again and out for the season. So.
Oh man, yeah, definitely. How long have you been a Jets fan?
I've been a Jeff fan ever since, probably since I was born, probably like 3 or 4. I just picked the colors. I said, "Oh, I like them because they're green." I probably should have went with the Packers because they had more success, but yeah, the
Yeah,
Jets.
no, definitely. You know what I remember about the Jets? I don't know if it when it was, but I remember they were playing a team in the Super Bowl. When's the last time they've been to the Super Bowl?
Oh, they haven't been to Super Bowl since '69, so it must have been a championship game. It must have been a championship game.
They
Maybe
haven't
it might
been
have been
since
against the
'69.
Steelers or the Colts.
Oh, okay, okay, okay. My bad. I'm over here. You're talking about the Jets. Just to show you how much I'm out of sports. Uh, I'm feeling you're talking about the Giants. My
Okay, yeah, yeah, yeah. Giants were with the Patriots.
yeah, yeah, yeah. I thought that was one of the most magnificent Super Bowls I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah, because they beat Brady.
Yeah, yeah, and the way they did it, it was just magical. I'm like, so Super Bowls, out of every sports league, there's just nothing like the Super Bowl, man. Like
Yeah, no,
it's
there is,
crazy.
especially the halftime Hey, maybe you'll get a halftime performance eventually too. You never know.
Oh man, that would be incredible, right?
Yeah, that's all the goats perform there. Michael Jackson, they've all done it.
Oh man, Michael's performance. I even like Bruno Mars' performance at the Super Bowl. That's
Yeah, that
legendary
was a
to
few
me.
years ago.
Yeah, yeah, that was amazing.
Yeah, Kendrick's doing it this year. I know there's a lot of controversy. People aren't happy about it, but hey, we need someone there that's going to be repping for hip hop. So
I was just about to say that. As long as hip hop is in the building, that's how I'm feeling.
yeah, that's I completely agree with you there. And we could use some more R&B like yourself too. I think we can get some more of that soon. Even I mean, we had Rihanna last year, but we got to get some more R&B in there as well.
Oh man, definitely, definitely. But I think
Yeah.
R&B, if I could say something, R&B just needs to speed it up a little bit. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So yeah.
Yeah, I do think that you and Tory, man, I think you guys are the faces of it, man. There's something special there, and it's different. Once you guys drop, you immediately see that it gains a lot of traction right away.
Yeah, man. He's one of my greatest collaborating partners. We've been talking about a tape to come in the future called Super Smash Brothers. You
Mm.
know what I'm saying? And it's just like just us going head to head. So I can't wait.
Oh, I like that. And it's got the video game aspect
Yeah,
to
that's
it
the whole
too.
point because he used to kick my ass at Smash Brothers with Pikachu, but I would just get so I'm sorry, I don't know if I can curse
No,
over
you
here.
can.
Okay. Yeah.
That's amazing. And do you have some tracks recorded for this tape, or you're still going to probably be working on that?
Oh man, we have so many records recorded, already. Just me and him, we just have sparring sessions in the studio, back to back, back to back, back to back. And he, like him, that's how I record. I freestyle my songs. They just come to me. I let them come to me. So yeah, we
You
have
mentioned
many.
that on Life with the song because you felt as though your spirit just took over.
Oh, absolutely, man. It was a as you know, a turbulent time. It was really tough. And for him to trust me on that level, sometimes when you're met with that kind of pressure, it makes diamonds. So recording life in Atlanta just as a city alone, like the mood there is crazy. So I really appreciated that record. It was a great experience.
Big time. Yoko Gold, man, is there anything else you would love to let your fans know, the audience know, that we didn't talk about in the interview that you want to mention here?
Definitely, man. Positivity, creativity, longevity. That's what I want them to just sit on that, if anything.
Mm. No, it's a deep message right there. Follow those 3 words, and that's the key to happiness.
Exactly. There you
You
go.
already know. Yoko Gold, man, I want to thank you for coming on the show. I had a great time speaking with you. It's an honor to be your first interview. I look forward to everything that you have released, especially the new single this upcoming Friday. But like I said, everything I've seen, it's been top tier quality, man. And it's still, you got a hit maker in the works right here, ladies and gentlemen. No doubt
Oh
about it.
man. Thank you, man. I want to thank you. I want to thank the listeners on your show. I appreciate you guys having this time with me and definitely looking forward to doing it again.
Absolutely. When you drop that tape, I'll stay in touch with Ariana. Shout out to Ariana. She was amazing in
Shout out
setting this up.
Ariana.
We'd love to have you back on the show. You would have an open seat here to talk about the upcoming project, man. And I'm looking forward to it.
Oh, let's do it, man. I'm looking forward to it too.
You already know, man. They can follow you on Instagram at Yoko Gold, and then I believe it on Twitter. It's different. Is it Yoko Gold Music? Is that what it is?
Yeah, Yoko Gold Music, but across all social medias, Yoko Gold. You can follow me there.
Okay, yeah, there you go, and that's where you have it. Make sure you go follow him, stay in touch with the new music, and he'll be bringing the hits your way.
For sure. Nothing like your lips this Friday.
That you already know. Make sure you go purchase it, download it the most. You can stream it. I want to see people download it though. Download it
Yeah,
to
there we
support
go.
them, man. That's
Thank
what's
you.
most important. Absolutely. Yoko Gold, thank you again, man. Until the next time, enjoy the rest of your night. All right.
All right, brother. Have a
All
good
right,
night.
man. Peace out.
Peace.